Hey guys, it's Misty with My Paper Cuts, and I'm coming on today with a card share for my Crafted from the Shadows Halloween series. And I did a couple of cards today, but what I wanted to share was kind of this big project that I've undertaken. So I have in my stash of stuff a lot of collections that I've already tapped into and used partially, and quite a few of them are Echo Park. So like this is from Hocus Pocus. So I've used part of the paper here, and then this one's from Halloween Town. And as you can tell, obviously with Echo Park, the Halloween collections all have the same colors. And since I had partial collections and partial sheets of paper, I decided to take this really large stamp set that I'll share with you in a second, and color all of the images to match the Echo Park colors so that I could use up a lot of these partial pages and partial collections that I have and not have to worry about matching just one. So the two that I'm using mostly are Halloween Town and Hocus Pocus, and I'm just trying to show, that one's just black and white, but you can just see like they match perfectly. So that was my plan. And then this is the stamp set that I'm using, and a big shout out to P for giving me a heads up. I missed this when it came out on Greeting Farm. I was so upset. I was working, I think, and P had sent me a 911 when I was out shopping one day to let me know that Jamie at Not Too Shabby had gotten some in. And so I literally, in the aisle at Home Goods, stopped and ordered this set because I wanted it so badly. I am a big fan of the Greeting Farm images. I love the hairstyles. I love their faces. They always have the cutest outfits. I also have the one that's kind of like Wizards and Witches, that's kind of like Harry Potter. I colored that one several times. I love that. But this one has 8 different witches, all different. And then they have some accessories and 3 nice sentiments. So I believe that Gigi and Crafty Bean, I think a lot of people got this set, so I can't wait to see what other people do with it. I just really wanted to color them. I want to watercolor them later, but with the way that my hand and arm have been, watercoloring has kind of been out of the question lately. So I went ahead and used Spectrum Noir markers, the tri-blends. I mentioned on another video, I'm not going to be replacing my Spectrum Noir markers as they run out. They just dry out too quick on me because I do color a lot. But anyway, I digress. So these 8 witches, I stamped them all out 4 times and got them all colored in those Echo Park colors, and then cut them out with my Scan and Cut. And then I also cut out foam to coordinate with them in case I want to pop them up on whatever I use them on. So I used 2 of the witches on 2 cards today, and then I'll be back to share the other 6 when I'm done with those. But I thought I would go ahead and share 2 at a time because these videos can get kind of long if you don't. So let me set this aside because of the glare, and I'll share the ones that I already have that I haven't used yet. So there's this cute little gal here with her lizard. I did different colors of hair. I've done different skin tones, and I just tried to do combinations that could go with any of those Echo Park papers. So here's another one. I love her little bells. And I didn't stickle them up or put any glossy accents on or anything because I don't know exactly when I'm going to use them on yet. And so I'll add those details once I put them on a project. And then there's this little gal. So like I said, I have 4 of those each. And then just as an example here, like for this one, I have her coordinating foam piece that I had also cut out with my brother, and they line up perfectly, so she's fully dimensional if I decide to do that. So each little pile here is just each image with its foam piece, so I can use them however I choose. And then I used the other 2 on the cards that I'm going to share. So the other thing that I did that I wanted to share, and this is going way back old school, was I wanted to keep these simple because my paper is partial pages, like half pages and such. And so I went back and I dug out my old Operation Right Home book. So I used to do Operation Right Home quite a bit. And it's kind of where I learned really to do layering and how to best use that paper with very few scraps. And so I created this book with all of her sketches, which are still available on the Operation Right Home website. You can still look up these sketches. I even still have the labels for the cards and an old packing slip in here. I haven't even looked at this in forever. But this is a really good resource when you want to use up, you know, and not have too many scraps of paper. I've been really inspired by Jess Crafts. She's been doing a lot of paper busting videos. She has sketches for using paper with no scraps, and she uses a lot of these types of things, as does Christy Marcotte. And it's just a really good way to use up your scraps. And so I had this book where I saved sketches, and I pulled it out to use those scraps that I have. But this is a good thing to have when your mojo's kind of suffering and you just want to get some cards done and not have too many scraps. And like I said, I will try to link Jess Crafts and Christy Marcotte down below if you don't know who they are. They are wonderful card makers. And like I said, if you want to bust out a paper pad and use up the whole thing, you definitely need to be following those two gals. So the first card here, I used 2 pieces of paper. I used this plaid and this purple. And I cut this one down and then used what was left over for the strips on this card and vice versa. So this is that cute little witch there. And it's just a really simple layout. The base piece is cut with this Whimsy Stamps stitched die. I think it's called, I don't remember what this one's called, but it's got like a zigzag stitching on it. Really cute. And then this piece here that the witch is on is from this MFT set, which just got this nice stitched layer. I just cut out a little pierced oval and then another oval underneath it. That is just with some basic oval dies that I had in my stash. And the sentiment is which better have my candy, which is this set here, which is from Carrie Bradford. I think this was discontinued a long time ago, but it's a cute set. I love this striped border. And then that little bat I actually punched out with this punch from EK Success. And then the stars are enamel dots that I picked up at Tuesday Morning back in, it looks like 2016. They're jelly bean soup stars. They were 99 cents, which is great. I can't believe these were $8 when they first came out. That is crazy to me. But anyway, so I have a bunch of these. I was using those up. And I just did some little dots around the stars with my white jelly pen. And then the inside, I used that punch again. This time I just punched it out, and then I punched in the scraps, some tiny scraps that I had, the bats out of the coordinating paper from the front, and inlaid those there. And I stamped Happy Halloween in Seedless Preserves Oxide ink, and that is from this MFT set called Sassy Pants Spooktacular, which is probably one of my all-time favorite sentiment stamps for Halloween. So sorry to go through these so fast, but they are really basic. So this one has the purple bats on the inside. And then the other card I did is even simpler. But like I said, I really wanted the characters to be the star of the show. I did use the foam. I don't know if I went over that, but the foam is behind the characters. So there's those. And then for this card, I did the same thing. So I cut down strips of the spiderweb paper and this jack-o'-lantern paper, and then use the coordinating smaller strip at the bottom of the other two. And that is the little witch in basically just in black and orange. So I kept this card all black and orange. I did this layered ovals. I had scraps of this Swiss dot green paper, which I thought matched the stems on the jack-o'-lanterns very well. She is popped up on foam. And then the stamp set I used for this set of cards was this one from Simon that I just got in my recent haul called Spook Up Some Fun. I think this is an older set, but I liked I used these two here, this here, and then I also used these spider webs and this little spider here. So I just used a little bit of everything on this set. But it does say You're So Bewitching. I used more of those enamel dot stars on the black background here. And down here, I used white sparkle enamel dots from Eyelet Outlet. And then along the sides here, one of my favorite things to do with scraps of glitter paper is to cut it into really thin strips. I like those Love from Lizzie pinstripes and her, I can't remember what they're called, but she's got all sorts of stickers, and you can just add just a little strip. But when I have glitter paper or foil paper and I haven't quite used it all, this is a great use to just do these skinny strips just to add just a little touch of shine to your cards. I think that's pretty much it on the front here. You can see that spider and bat from the stamp set. And then inside I stamped the spider webs to carry the theme on the inside. And I put Let's Spook Up Some Fun across the bottom. And Happy Halloween and You're So Bewitching are stamped in Spiced Marmalade Oxide ink. So that is my card share. Sorry this was such a long video. I didn't want it to be this long, but I did kind of want to give a heads up of why you'll be seeing so many of these witches on my next couple of videos. So you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.